Today in the program, high-tech manufacturing in the field of light industry, not typical for Kazakhstan, or how to create domestic products of the world level that are high in demand from scratch. One of the most popular women's accessories are tights. Their appearance had an incredible impact not only on fashion, but also shocked the industry and the economy. Thus, when the first nylon tights appeared in New York stores on the 15th of May 1940, 780,000 pairs were sold only in one day. The Japanese stable silk market, which existed for centuries, collapsed almost overnight. Additionally, 64 million pairs were bought within 1 year in the USA. And how many of them were sold in Europe? Meanwhile, how many arguments caused this accessory from conservative side? However, today it is difficult to imagine the wardrobe of modern women without this simple but high-tech piece of clothing. There are several traditional world production centers of pantyhose, and the occurring of such production in Kazakhstan was a big surprise for many people. It is kind of unique production in Kazakhstan. We produce women's nylon stockings. For today, maybe we are the only factory in Kazakhstan or Central Asia which produces stockings using Italian technology.
Фабрика, которая производит колготки по итальянской технологии. Мы со своими компаньонами в 2008 году начали изучать этот рынок и пришли к тому, что
We have started to explore this market with my partners in 2008 and came to the opinion that this product was in demand and started to research what was going on in this market, which factories were opened, which products were in the price range, which were represented in our market. As it happened in the early 8 or 9 years, mainly Chinese products mainly occupied our market. A little bit later, famous companies from Belarus came. There were many products from Italy also. Maybe not from the country of Italy itself, but under Italian brands. So those brands that were known to us since the 2000s, which came in our market for the first time and began to offer their own products to our population.
которые впервые вошли к нам на рынок и стали предлагать свою продукцию для нашего населения.
Really, there were presented mainly cheap brands of low quality in the market of Kazakhstan, which was on the stage of development at that period. There were also a large number of counterfeit products under the name of famous brands, and therefore there was a serious shortage of high-quality tights. Such Way came to the idea to create our own factory in Kazakhstan.
И мы, увидев это, решили сделать в Казахстане аналогичное производство.
After seeing it, we decided to make the similar production in Kazakhstan. I had to travel in all countries where this production was considered to be settled. First of all, of course, this was Italy, the ancestor of the production and release of tights, a region that is considered as the biggest one, with more than 200 or 300 factories that produce goods for the whole world. I traveled there, explored the situation, what and how the product is produced, and which equipment is used for it.
Я поехал туда, изучил ситуацию, что, на чем выпускают, какие используют при этом виды оборудования. И в течение 2 лет...
All used equipment mainly is produced in Italy. It was 2009. The first contract was signed for the supply of the equipment, and within 2 years we were receiving this equipment in Kazakhstan. Since there was a line for receiving and settling this equipment, so you can consider we had been collecting factory piece by piece, let's say by workshops, by separate processes. We collected each individual process separately, and approximately in 2010 to 2011, we had already finished the workshop for the production of pantyhose from A to Z, from the sewings which were brought from Italy to packaging which were made in Kazakhstan. Altogether, it took 3 years.
И заканчивая упаковкой, которую мы делали в Казахстане. На это ушло, если все смотреть, около 3 лет.
A large quantity of questions arose in early stage of commissioning works. There were no specialists in installation of such equipment in Kazakhstan, so I had to work with experts from Italy. By the way, nobody believed in the success of our factory in those years. Leading industry experts with whom our businessmen consulted on this issue decided to look at the future production base personally.
Он приехал и настраивал нам красильное и формовочное оборудование.
He came to us and set up a dyeing and molding equipment. I asked him to, and why you came. why have you not sent your subordinates who could do the same thing? He said, it was just very interesting for me. How this young man pointing at me can create production here in Kazakhstan, whereas nothing near where the closest structure that is able to sell yarn is located 4,000 kilometers away. And maybe it was humanely interesting for them, and this fact set them wondering how we plan to produce it here.
И вызывало удивление, как мы здесь будем это все производить.
Every country has its own traditional production, sometimes leading stories from a local craft, manufacturers that have a long tradition. But to create a fundamentally new production is extremely difficult for the region. Therefore, the next question was human resources. In Kazakhstan, there were no such products ever manufactured. Not only experts were absent, but also information about the technology, the organization of production, and the development of this business were absent too. And all this had to be solved in the same time.
Намного сложнее пришлось именно нашему предприятию.
It was much more difficult for our company since hosiery products were previously produced in Karaganda before, but this is a completely different level, quite different products and other machines. One could almost say that the plant does not produce such products anymore.
Практически, можно сказать, этот завод уже такую продукцию не выпускает.
Мы не знали ничего, никакой литературы у нас не было.
It turned out that there are no specialists as knitters, designers, engineers, and technologists neither in Kazakhstan nor in the schools of this profile. And we'd invited experts from Italy, Turkey, and Poland, where this type of production is very well developed. Because we did not know anything, there was no literature, and if there was some, then it was related to the 50s or 60s, where completely different technology existed. You will not believe, but in the past 10 years, technology in the production of pantyhose has changed a lot. And we learned everything, even the type of thread, what thread can be used, how to paint the thread, how to knit it, and how to program it all. However, the biggest shock for the first women's tight production in Kazakhstan was hidden surprise. Having solved all issues of the business organization and outstanding products, which previously did not exist in Kazakhstan, entrepreneurs were faced with difficult projected market features.
Самая большая проблема оказалась в другом, это продать эту продукцию.
The biggest problem was the other to sell these products. At the end of 2012, we have entered the market with ready products and offered our own goods. But our population in the shopping centers, the retail chains had no interest at all. At that time, as you may remember, 12 to 3 years was the period of complete dominance of imports.
Отечественного продукта, может, там были единицы, это и то, наверное, продукты питания, это кефир, хлеб, там, крупы и так далее, да. А вот что-то такого стоящего там из легкой промышленности у нас в Казахстане не было.
Domestic products were few. Perhaps there were mainly food, yogurt, bread, and cereal. But there was nothing worth from the light industry in Kazakhstan, and it was very hard to enter the market for us. We had to prove that there is no difference in our technology and the Italians. Firstly, we use Italian raw materials, work on Italian machines, and we have Italian programs developed by Italian specialists. All recipes for dyeing the stalks were also from Italy. That is, as piece of Italy here, the shop was brought in Kazakhstan. But our compatriots worked in this workshop, and it was very difficult. It was a stereotype that still exists, and it was very difficult to prove that we produce a very decent product.
Очень сложно было доказывать, что мы производим очень достойную продукцию.
Это, как мы думали, будет легкая часть бизнеса, оказалось не настолько.
It was not such an easy part of the business as we thought before. We even agreed with such sayings it is easier to produce rather than to sell. Besides, it was not so easy to enter the network of the market for the local producer, and we found out this in practice.
По ходу дела, оказывается, не так легко даже зайти в сети, казалось бы, в Казахстане у себя на родине.
It would seem that you are located in your own country. There are all doors of supermarkets and retailers are open for you and so on. However, this is not true. We were faced with such barriers as, darling, nobody knows you. We even hear such sayings, we will sell Chinese products. So such situations we faced in the early period of our activity.
Мы будем продавать Китай. Да, это встречалось, особенно в начале нашей деятельности.
In that years, many producers of Kazakhstan have experienced such difficulties. However, the president's policy for support of domestic producers, as well as the external crisis, have led to the fact that people of Kazakhstan paid attention to the brands made in Kazakhstan and appreciated not only the price, but also quality.
На фабрике есть 5 или 6 этапов производства. Это и вязание, и сшивание, и...
There are 5 to 6 phases of production in the factory. These are knitting and stitching in a dye shop and molding shop and so on. I will not enumerate all of them. There is DTC, Department of Technical Control, at each phase, and quality control, screening some flaws or any defects that take place at each stage. After the last stage, there is a final step, especially it is seen during the packaging process. Everything is checked with utmost attention. More attention is dedicated to the stage of the packaging workshop. DTC works very well in our factory, and I hardly remember any bad case in our experience.
Упаковочного цеха. ОТК, у нас очень хорошо работает, практически я не помню, чтобы у нас были такие замечания.
Today we produce about 16 types of products of different thickness, starting with 10 and ending with 100 den. There are tights with shorts and tights without shorts. These thick tights made of microfiber. There are stockings. It is cod pieces, the socks, the entire line. And in hard containers and soft packages, in a variety of colors. We have 5 colors, dimensional grid from 2nd to 6th. That is a wide range. Today, as far as I believe, the most popular tights, it's micro bobbin net. They are sold everywhere and popular amongst almost all women. If a woman sees them, in case she likes it, she buys it immediately.
Мы небольшая относительно компания и относительно других таких же производителей именно чулочно-носочной продукции.
Relatively, we are a small company. In comparison with other manufacturers of hosiery products, we are very young. Their brands are famous from all over the world and passed generation after generation. Meanwhile, to be famous within Kazakhstan for the beginning is okay for us. This would be the step from our side.
С нашей стороны очень, выполнена наша программа минимум, так скажем.
Цель для начала, да, это все-таки быть в Казахстане во всех торговых точках. Вот мы есть.
Our aim for the beginning is to be in all selling points within Kazakhstan. We are represented in many retailers, but not everywhere, so we are not so famous. So the next task is to be well known within our country. So every woman could try at least one time our tights, and it would be better if she wears them in the future. Of course, we would like to enter the markets of Russia, Ukraine, the Kyrgyz Republic, Uzbekistan, and the Caucasus. Therefore, we'll be striving for it and expand our production using different types of business.
К этому будем стремиться, расширять свое производство, применять различные другие виды бизнеса. Это и не только производить женские колготки, может и белье, и
maybe not only producing tights, but underwear as well, and also bedding. So to develop in this direction, we would like to produce men's socks and children's socks also. We have the potential for that, and measures of state support are very large, so by using all of them, there is possibility to become bigger, a major producer in our country.
Что можно, используя все, стать таким вот большим, крупным производителем в нашей стране.
According to conservative estimates, Kazakhstan domestic market is about 100 million pairs of stockings per year. If we add the nearby regions, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, and Russia border territories, the number of potential users is quite increased. Thus, the development of this direction of the light industry is very promising and with good prospects.
Мы имеем большой потенциал,
We have a great potential to occupy a large part of this market. For that purposes, I would like to unite the major suppliers of raw materials, and equipment around our company. Good pool in order to make it clear to women that we can produce good pantyhose and make an honest and correct product.
Мы делаем честные, правильные колготки.